it's better. Throughout any rain, throughout any weather, yo. I have real and simple, so me go so then. Many a talk, many a chat, many got lots to say. I and I still hold the faith. Oh, look how them discriminate it. Who will really about anything? Many a talk, many a chat, many got lots to say. I and I still hold the faith. Oh, when I'm Mr. Wicked on, I never play that game. Oh, yeah. Rock them and crack them. This is called no paper soldier. Can't live without the kings of kings. Got to be a ranking, real outstanding. Youths know them figure for them dream and the damn thing. Oh, Rastafari teach them overstanding. Oh, we hold the earth and make you standing. Heart of it clean, real no real. Some me tell the youths them put on in blue steel. Yeah. And anything me do we know, yeah. Yes, me are the kings of kings. So me hear Jehovah. That give me the strength of it take over. Some boy them a real big soldier. Get a one thing and forget about the king. So me hear Jehovah. That give me the strength of it take over. Some boy them a real paper soldier. Get a one thing and forget about the king. From your nose that your love is real, yeah. Not shaking like granny falls seed, hey. 72 nations them off in it. Cause love, yo, hey. So hear me now, easy me brother. No bust the gun, me say put on easy zagga. Which one you rather? Life with tata or sinner, took up your body like that give me the strength of it take over. Some boy them a real paper soldier. Get a one thing and forget about the king. So me yell Jehovah. That give me the strength of it take over. Some boy them a real paper soldier. Get a one thing and forget about the king. So me yell Jehovah. That give me the strength of it take over. Some boy them a real paper soldier. Get a one thing and forget about the king. So rock them and rock them.
Morning, Jabba and the Firehouse crew. Now, true to the name, Mr. Bell. Fired up this morning. Wanna sound lovely. The ensemble is dynamic and fiery. I can't wait to hear them. It's a band Wednesday, and we are excited. Yes, when job people touch the stage with the instruments, you know, I body just, energized, I mind fired up to take you right until 8:30. It's a wonderful morning. Good morning, Mr. Bell.
Hey, Empress. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Smile Jamaica. It's morning time. It is Wednesday, April 25, and we welcome our friends at OneSpotMedia.com on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat at Smile Jam TVJ, and also on TelevisionJamaica.com. Great start. As always, a great show. So we thank you for being with us. We know you're there, and it's time for you to move because a little bit after 6 o'clock. How are the young ones?
My young ones are great. Thank you so much, Mr. Bell. I left, my young one is 11 months, still breastfeeding. Had to give her some nice milk this morning at about 4:15. She took 4 steps. I bawled my eyes out. What a milestone.
So you cry because she walked?
Every mom cries when their baby walks the first time.
So you never want her to walk?
No, you get excited. Tears of joy. Never. Oh, you men just don't understand. Tears of joy. She took 4 steps.
You have it on video?
You know what? I missed it. I was there laughing, crying, clapping, and I completely forgot the camera. So I'm going to have to go and tape it again today sometime. Yeah. But yeah, things are good. How are your young ones?
My young ones are not young anymore.
Your grandchildren.
Well, my grandkids are beautiful. Last time I spoke with them.
Yes.
My daughter sent me a message from Toronto because of this horrific incident with the driver that just plowed down some people, killed 10.
Gosh, again.
And we talk almost every day. And then she sent me a message, but I was doing football, and she just said, just want you to know that we're all right. So I kind of look at the message and I said, so why did you say that?
Why wouldn't you be all right?
Yeah. And then I didn't get it until the next morning.
The news of what happened?
No, I knew what happened, but I just didn't get it until the next morning. I remember my other daughter lived in Manhattan, 9/11.
I was there.
And I could not get her the entire day because obviously the phones were just jammed because everyone was trying to get through. And I could not find her. And you talk about ball, I finally found her late in the day. Not found her because she wasn't lost, but I finally got her late in the day. Well, it's then I started the ball, but I realized that she was okay. So
let me tell you,
it's kind of crazy.
It's these disasters, these.
I don't know what's going on because this guy in case you don't know what we're talking about, there's this guy in Toronto driving a van, a young and Finch, young street goes. I think I heard once it's like the longest street in the world. It's like like 90 miles long or something like that. And he just drove up on the sidewalk and just hit down some people, killed 10, and hurt many, many more. He's in custody, by the way, but I don't know what would go through the mind for you to just.
But it was just yesterday. One of my drivers was saying Empress, you heard the story in Otatone, it was a Cristiano somewhere, where a man of unsound mind just walked up to the bike
and chopped the
police officer. And I'm saying to myself, it is quite scary. There are a lot of people out there. Things aren't really the wires are not all connected.
Yeah, and to be fair, because we spoke about it here on Smile Jamaica. To be fair, that's not widespread with homeless people. I mean, homeless people don't just.
Oh no, it's not about being homeless.
Yeah,
the fact is, we're all mentally ill,
Yeah.
and we're all vulnerable.
Yeah.
No matter where you go, where you are, you could be driving in Toronto, you're
Anything
vulnerable. You're riding a bike in Jamaica, you're at risk. So.
All right. Yeah, we have to be careful. All right, let me tell you what's up today. Let's get happy. On today's show, Jamaicans Call to Serve. We speak with the married Jamaican couple now helming the Salvation Army of the Caribbean Territory, married for some 36 years, both lieutenant colonels. Great stuff.
And then a Jamaican writes about her return home from foreign to yard, comes off the shelf. And I will tell you all, I read the book last night and I really enjoyed it.
Right,
Couldn't put it down.
Off the shelf and on the road. Russian road trip. That is, today we look at the traditional apparel of the country hosting the 2018 FIFA World Cup. And apparently, like how we have a national dress, apparently they have more than one. It's going to be interesting when they come.
Will you be wearing something?
I don't know. I don't know if they're going to bring anything for me. They have some models, so we will look at that.
Yeah. I just want to take a moment to thank my hospitality manager, Miss Sonia, for this fabulous cup of coffee. Jamaicans, Blue Mountain coffee is the best. Strong and black. Just had to put in that announcement. Thanks, Miss Sonia. And from the field to the beach, Natalia O is here to make the most of your swimsuit.
Then we make our way back to land when we head to the garden for a few fresh flowers.
You can smell the flowers now. The aromas in the air. And on the Smile stage, you heard them at the top of the show. Jabbar, I, and the Firehouse crew. They're heating up the studio. Oh, it's going to be wild. I'm excited. We should dance.
You know, his father is the drummer.
Yes. Yeah. It's in his blood.
It's incredible.
That's why he's fiery. Yeah. But right now, we warm things up with the hot topics. Let's tell you what's going on. Let's get to it.
The headline says water war. Wisinko sues Heart Foundation over campaign against sugary beverages. So the health minister, Dr. Tufton, has described as very unfortunate a legal move by the William Mafood-led Wisinko Group Limited to block the Heart Foundation of Jamaica from repeating information it posted on social media aimed at warning Jamaicans about the dangers of excessive sugar intake. The information was posted on Instagram, and it says, "Are you drinking yourself sick?" And the campaign features a number of commercials that have been aired on local TV and various social media platforms. The company has filed documents in the Supreme Court seeking a declaration that the information posted on Instagram is defamatory and an injunction barring the non-governmental organization from repeating it. Mr. Tufton says, I'm not sure what is the logic, business or otherwise, for a company to pursue legal action against an NGO seeking to pursue a critical and globally recognized public health mandate. Well, Wisynco contends that the since deleted Instagram post made an inaccurate claim about the volume of sugar contained in its cranwater beverage before asking the question, are you drinking yourself sick? Drink water instead. The said words were calculated to disparage Cranwater and Wisynco in its business. In consequence, Cranwater's and Wisynco's reputation has been seriously damaged, and the principals of Wisynco have suffered considerable distress, anxiety, and embarrassment, the company said. They're suggesting that the post would suggest that drinking Wisynco's products, specifically Cranwater, will make you sick, and I think that's where they have an issue. What's next?
They're treating it with urgency too.
Yep.
All right, what's next is the CTOC, the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime. We had them on the show the other day. The branch is basically saying that they don't have the ability to seize the fake goods that are out there on the market. It's a branch of the JCF, Jamaica Constabulary Force, and they're saying it could seize goods to the value of $100 million weekly, but the organization is hamstrung by the lack of storage. Now, Assistant Commissioner Police Fitz Bailey made the disclosure just yesterday in a Gleaner Editors Forum discussing the issue. When you seize 2 containers of fake goods, he says, where are we going to store it? You can't just store it anywhere. I'm telling you that if we had the space, you would see far more seizures. Now, let's just go back into last year. Approximately $1.2 billion, right, of goods were seized. And this year, we're looking at $650 million of goods. I think also the problem is the time it takes to deal with the goods once they're seized, because it goes through a process. The matter has to be taken to court and judgment handed down, and then the goods are destroyed. So that's some of the issues that we're seeing with that.
We can see so many empty spaces around.
Well, yes, we do.
Buildings around. Why can't we find... I don't know. I mean,
why can't we find the space?
If they say they don't have the space, I guess they don't have the space. But that seems strange.
Well,
wouldn't you just need an empty warehouse or something like that just to?
Well, there are a lot of abandoned buildings out there, as you said.
That.
So maybe the government should capture some of its own buildings and land and look at that. But anyway, let me just put this out there. There are brands of toothpaste on the market as well that are fake, and we're hearing that the cheap price may alert you to pick it up. It also may alert you to question whether or not it's good for you, because people have become ill from using fake goods like toothpaste.
Well, that's my point. So we must find somewhere to get those off the shelves and put them away.
Well, there are a lot of partners who have to get involved in correcting some of these things, because you can't keep the fake goods on the market if it's going to affect us. And JIPO is an agency in charge of intellectual property. And JIPO, the JCF, and CTOC, we need to come together and come up with a plan. But there you go, $1.2 billion of fake goods last year.
Right.
And it's also, they're hinting that it contributes to organized crime as well. So we need to really address that.
All right, so Jamaica ranks among the countries that most respect freedom of information. This comes out of the 2018 report on world press freedom. They've moved up 2 places. We have moved up 2 places to 6 on the 2018 World Press Freedom Index, and this was released by Reporters Without Borders Tuesday night. That's France-based. It's the highest ranking for a Caribbean country since 2002, when the index was introduced, and the index gauges press freedom in 180 countries. That's brilliant. Another notable change is the decline recorded by United States, which has fallen from 43 to 45, and it continues its downward trend in the first year that Mr. Trump is.
I was going to say, who or what has contributed to that?
We're finished with the hot topics.
Hot topics. We're finished with it.
Yep.
That's right. That's what's going on. But what's really hot is that we're going to be here until 8:30 this morning.